Welcome to the west side of Charleston, West Virginia. I've been here for about 3 years now, and the organized stalking and harassment that I've experienced since like 2012. I didn't know it was happening in 2012 because it was covert. Then it went overt 2017. You hear all the things, all over your feed right now about targeted individuals and all the different things that have happened to those targeted individuals, and I'm one of them. You can go look me up, see why. 9/11, whistleblowing, COVID, chemtrails, trafficking, scams, fraud. I've been covering all of it over and over and over for 9 years, and I've been being relentlessly attacked along with my family since then. And because I was a photo video broadcast journalist trained at the Defense Information School at Fort Meade, Maryland, I decided to document all this stuff, what was going on in my own life. Who better to tell the story about something than the actual person going through it themselves at that time. So it's like reality TV that nobody believed, that everybody wanted to call me schizophrenic, psychopathic, Nazi, racist, pedophile, fill in the blank, any terrible thing that you can say to someone that has no validity. It's been said to me by people I don't know every single day of my life, and it happens the most when I put stuff out to y'all. And here's one of the reasons why. So I did this interview with this guy named Larry Nichols, right? He worked directly for Bill and Hillary Clinton, and he went on this show called what was that one called? Crowdsource the Truth with Jason Goodman. Oh, here we go. I got a lurker here right now, walking in front of my house. What's this guy's shirt say? If they owe self-love. Who's this? Never seen that guy before in my life. Anyway, I did this interview with the guy named Larry Nichols that worked for Bill and Hillary Clinton. Did a whole bunch of stuff in Mena, Arkansas. Him and I were the featured guests on Crowdsource the Truth with Jason Goodman. And I asked him about all this stuff that was happening to me. And why would a guy who has never met me before in my life go on this interview with me to tell me that it sounds like I had been put in a program called Kill Them While They're Young? It's still, that interview is still like locked up on Jason Goodman's pay site. You can go find it, I think, unless he deleted it. But the guy that worked directly for Bill and Hillary Clinton, Larry Nichols, told me on a live interview that it sounded like I'd been put into some kind of program called Kill Them While They're Young, which doesn't necessarily mean kill them while they're young, like you're all reading about in the Epstein files right now on justice.gov. It means to identify a young child. Oh God, the radio's on. Maybe you guys couldn't hear it, and YouTube won't delete this because the fucking radio is on. Anyway, because they're looking for a reason to get rid of this information. Where did I leave off? Yeah, they would identify, with the power, control, reach, surveillance, and all that stuff. They would identify young children with traits that would be counteractive to their deep state fraud, corruption, and all that stuff. So kids that have integrity, empathy, critical thinking skills, high tolerance for pain, strong-willed, and will stand up, when they're told to do the wrong thing. They'd look for all those qualities. Somebody who would actually make like an amazing leader, somebody who you would want to be making decisions for you because they actually care about you and not how many widgets can be popped out by whatever thing, and that's the top line just goes higher and higher and higher. Will people suffer more and more? That's the kind of people they want. So anyway, I didn't even have a specific thing I wanted to talk about when I started this video. I was just like, okay, all of this information's coming out. Every single day since November 11th of 2017, every single day, calling people, networking, researching, going on talk shows, putting information out that I was absolutely ostracized and attacked for, that I've lost everything in my life. I have some things now. Got a house. It was $35,000. I'll just tell you, people, everything's all public record anyway. I got here to West Virginia. I got chased out after 9 years. They were shooting at my house, literally shooting through my back window. The neighbors in that neighborhood were working with the police. They knew I was leaving, and they tried to set me up and arrest me to keep me captured in Arizona, put me in jail there, and not allow me to get out of there and start over. So I had to leave stuff in my house that I really wanted to keep, things that I've worked hard for. I had to vacate my house and load up my truck and my trailer and move out here to West Virginia. Just me, my dog, no family, no friends, nothing. Had bought a piece of property that was actually $2,000. That's all I had when I got here. Sorry, I'm not reading your comments right now. I'm just kind of venting and getting some stuff out while it's up fresh on my mind. But that property that I bought for $2,000, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, when I was trying to make my plan to vacate Phoenix, Arizona, because it was turning into California, and it was crazy on the west side of Phoenix. Yeah, I got here to town, and I thought I was going to park that truck and trailer at like a KOA or something like that, you know, $10 a night or what. There's nothing like that around here. There was no place to park. I lived in a parking lot in front of the Pied Piper music shop for a week until I made my way down into my neighborhood where my property was. I met some of the neighbors, and a lady at Casey's Cookies, CC, said, she asked me where I was going to park that trailer, and I said, I'm not sure, I'm still looking. She said, well, we have a big open parking lot right here. You're welcome to park it there as long as you need while you're working on your house. And I was like, oh, thank God. And I was so thankful that I just had a parking lot to sleep in my trailer with my dog, no insulation, winter. So we lived there for a while, 3 months, 4 months, and then I got this place. It was gonna freeze, and we would die out there in the cold. The utility trailer, box trailer, car hauler, no insulation, not now. So anyway, got this house for $35,000. Was completely just full of bed bugs, cockroaches, mice, hypodermic needles, Narcan boxes. It was in the condition that nobody wanted it. And like joists rotting out underneath the floor, electrical, plumbing hung up with pantyhose, electrical junction boxes underneath the toilet. This house was like, it was like a booby trap. It's ridiculous. And through all the stuff that I'm telling you guys about, by finding recycled shit and just working hard every day, I've got it livable. Mostly. I don't know. This is just where I've ended up from all this targeting. The whole thing, the story is so long. I don't have any kind of format to what I'm doing here right now, but I do know that I just sent messages to all of my friends who have been with me through this for the whole time, to people that stuck with me and backed me up while we were waiting for this information to come out. And I don't know, y'all. Let's see. Maybe we should do some more talk shows, and I can explain. Go back on Caravan to Midnight. I'll go on. Well, Fox News wouldn't have me. Any show with anyone. Answer questions. Repeat stories that have been told a million times, but now people will listen because they actually got the government documents to believe us, which is Here's the other thing I was going to say. They had to have known that this is coming up, right? The deep state, whatever, cabal, whatever you want to call them. They have breakaway technology, which is a bunch of it is listed in the Epstein files: the synthetic telepathy, the V2K, the remote neural monitoring, the body area networks where they can affect your mood, happy, sad, aroused, like all kind. Your nervous system, connect with your nervous system. Like I said, the body area networks, neural connectivity, 5G or Gwyn towers, nanotechnology in your body. It's a microscopic microchip, just like you have in your computer, your phone. Connect with your body in real time. All that. All of that is in the documents. A lot of us have been going back. Go back through our timelines. This is for all the normies that are just getting here and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Not everybody that's been with me the whole time that are like, hey, Mike, good to see you. I appreciate you all here, but this is all just like old news to us. It's like we're a bunch of insurance agents after 20 years of being an insurance agent, explaining to somebody the limits of liability on their policy for the 30 millionth fucking time. And it's just like, this is old knowledge. This is for you guys. And nothing negative about y'all. You just haven't had some kind of traumatic event in your life take place that forces you into the dark to find the light. Yeah, so welcome. It's scary here. Welcome to the Matrix. It is like porridge, and there's no lady in the red dress and medium rare steak. So yeah, all that information came out. Now it's been proven beyond the shadow of a doubt, even though we proved it beyond the shadow of a doubt. So now what? Now what do we do? So I'm gonna I missed a bunch of these comments, so I just want to I'll go backwards here. Tracy Sutherland. It's persistent trauma every day with little to no reprieve. That's exactly what it is. So it's here. I'll go off on a tangent. So what Tracy Sutherland just described, it's persistent trauma every day with little to no reprieve. So a lot of what you guys are reading in the Epstein files, and you're like, there's no way this is real. That actually happened to those people. Well, yeah, okay. So when something happens like that to a young child and they're taken advantage of, sold, tortured, whatever the thing is that happens to them, the handlers, the victimizers, the abusers, the traffickers, whatever name you have for them, there's multiple different types of people that do different things. They don't want their victim to have any memory of the events that they're trying to hide, that the people who have caused this to the victim are trying to hide. So that's what long-term trauma-based mind control is. It sounds nuts when you don't understand the context of it, but trauma-based mind control is inserting non-organic traumatic events into the life of an individual, boy or girl, that something traumatic has happened to them that the people want hidden. When something traumatic happens to a person over and over and over and over and over without any reprieve, without any release, without processing all of that trauma, the brain automatically starts to try to heal itself because it knows that the body can't endure that much pain. So it starts to compartmentalize, and it pushes that pain back into different compartments of your brain. Kind of like, God, what would be, like how the government works. There's all these little compartments of the government, and there's so many of them that are like hidden, and like these NGOs and all this stuff, you know, leering centers where like you didn't even know they were there. It's a compartment hidden away until it was brought to light. So those compartments in your brain, they can't resurface because you're constantly going through trauma every single day. Somebody reminding you that your dad blew his brains out. Somebody reminding you of the day that your son's mother died on your birthday. The day that the person you loved more than anything in the world that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with disappeared, and you realized that whole relationship was fake. So like those are the type of traumas that they'll insert. You know, your multiple animals who've been killed, the time that a little boy threw a rock in your daughter's face and hit her in the eye and her eyeball was bleeding, and then they mock you after that to let you know that they did that on purpose. Like those kind of traumatic things. And it goes on and on and on and on. Grape. Am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I haven't been on here in so long. Like to you, you know, like sedate you, grape you, and then have people follow you around and mock you about what they did to you in public to try to trigger you to react, to punch that person in the fucking throat like they deserve. But you know that that's the setup. So then the targeted individual is constantly in this trauma, fight or flight mode, cortisol pumping. Cortisol is a adrenaline that we're only supposed to receive when we are being attacked and we have to fight, or we're being attacked and we have to run. The human body and brain is not designed for cortisol to be released every single day. And that starts to affect your mental state and your physical state. I mean, look at my face. If you guys looked at me when I first started doing this, I was a pretty good looking guy. No gray hair. I was about 30 pounds heavier, a lot of muscle. And this has just completely torn me down. And I don't know if I'm starting to go off on a tangent here, but I know that if I were given the chance to heal and deprogram, the same with a lot of you that are watching this right now, if you were given a chance to heal, deprogram, and have an extended amount of time without cortisol being pumped in from those non-organic traumatic events, your body would start to heal, your mind would start to heal. And some of those memories that are repressed intentionally by your victimizers, your handlers, your targeters, those would start to rise up to the top. You would be able to recall exactly what happened. You would be able to connect some dots, and then those covert, psychopathic, narcissist fucks they'd be screwed. And their cover story of them being the good guy and trying to help a person with like some kind of, that's their thing. They secretly, behind the scenes, will attach some kind of disability to the targeted individual and then spread that rumor throughout their community policing app or whatever it is that they use, that this person is autistic, this person is a compulsive, I don't know, fucking foot rubber or some just weird ass shit that would get people to be like, oh, I don't want to talk to that person. I don't know exactly what it is that they put on there, but I know that that's the reaction. I'm a smart guy. Pay attention to detail. Mannerisms, micro expressions, little things. I notice all kinds of stuff, and you can tell. So that's why they keep you in a constant state of trauma. That's why they've kept me in a constant state of trauma. So thanks for bringing that up. Let's see. Lil Wild Desert says, he look scared. You're clearly a white person. I was sitting in the parking lot of Quick Trip in Avondale, Arizona, after being put in a jail cell with 2 MS-13, being set up and arrested. as a political attack. They set me up, arrested me. A cop pointed a shiny 357 revolver in my face. After a guy chased me through the neighborhood with a 9mm Glock 9, got it on video, chased me to my house where my children were sleeping, chased me through the neighborhood where like 9 cruisers and a helicopter were waiting for me, and then that guy pulled that gun in my face, that 357 or 44 chrome revolver. It's not like what cops carry. And then they threw me in a jail cell with 2 MS-13 gang members, which I'm positive they were, because their entire back was tattooed MS-13 and teardrop tattoos. They were drawing little pictures in the jail cell while I was in there that I used to draw when I was a kid to try to fuck with me, and I stood nose to nose with those guys. And if they would have done shit, I would have killed both of them in their cell. So I'm not scared. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of MS-13, any of these fucking people that gang stalk me. I'm not scared of any of you. And that's why I'm still on here doing this, and I go out every day and I live my life, and I battle you fuckers out, and I play your stupid mind games with you, and I turn it around on you, and I mirror all of your negativity and watch you burn out what you're trying to do with me. If you think I'm scared, my address is 107 Maryland Avenue, Charleston, West Virginia, 25302. My last name is on my front porch in big letters, BARDEN. That's how scared I am. I ran out of fucks a long time ago. People recently learned the hard way to stay the fuck away from my house, off my front yard. I didn't have to do anything but show people it happened. And guarantee you right now, all of them are wishing that they didn't do that. So I'm not scared. That's awesome, the trolls are here. So there are trolls right now. As I'm explaining, targeted individuals being stalked, harassed, having neural weapons used on them in the United States, having their constitutional rights violated every single day, being put through a court that has no due process. You can't face your accuser. I'm talking about that to children being harmed, trafficked, and there's people in the comments right now harassing me. See, do I believe I'm targeted? I've proved it beyond the shadow of a doubt. I have sworn affidavits that are on record in Maricopa County Court from former NSA veteran, 28 years, Karen Melton Stewart, sworn affidavit, like 5 pages. On record. I put it on record myself, filed the motions myself, defended myself, fired 3 lawyers, got those on record. Daryl Sosby, 31 years, FBI attorney in Texas, Vietnam veteran. He wrote me a sworn affidavit. That's also on record in Maricopa County. I have documented and reported video evidence of this for 9 years. To where if an actuary or a statistician, which AI is doing right now, were to process all that information, it would absolutely prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that this is statistically impossible to happen to one person over this timeline. So yes, I've provided all of the proof. I've met the people. Been there, done that. Talked to Andy Biggs actually at the Trump rally in Arizona, and I explained to him what the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court is and how it operates. And the next week, him and his team came out with an 11-minute video about how the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court is corrupt. It needs to be investigated, revised, or abolished. Because you see, it was used for foreign threats up until 2012, and then when our government decided to target American citizens as domestic terrorists for wanting to have some justice over like 9/11 and just the whole fucking list of all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Would Kevin Shipp, who worked for the CIA for 31 years, who would have still have the capability to research somebody's background and know if he wants to do an interview with them or not, would that guy go on an interview and risk his credibility to back me up and say, yes, Michael Barden is a targeted individual? There's no way that he could read about this on the internet and then explain the things that are happening to him in his life. That's not possible. Mike is a targeted individual. Karen Melton Stewart worked for the NSA for 28 years, who I was just talking about, did an interview with me here on YouTube, explained it. Would she risk her credibility? John D'Souza, probably the most important one. John D'Souza, 25-year FBI agent, whistleblower, most decorated, most punished FBI agent ever in the history of the FBI. The first season of the X-Files was written about him. Our interview explains how that happened, how other FBI agents stole his off-the-books files, sold them to Chris Carter, and then the first season of the X-Files happened. John shows his FBI badge. You can look his number up, show that he's legit. He's also an attorney. Met with him in person. I actually took, okay, here's a good story. Are you targeted? Do I believe I'm targeted? There's a good story. My ex-girlfriend, Desiree Foley, got scanned by Dr. Rima, who was married to Major General Stubblebine, who was one of the highest ranking people in the United States Air Force, who was an original whistleblower. Dr. Rima was a doctor who was scanning people for illegal RFID chips. She scanned my girlfriend Desiree and found like 7 or 8 RFID chips in her body. So this is pre-nanotechnology. We took those scans from Dr. Rima from Phoenix, Arizona to Tucson, Arizona, showed them to John and some of his other friends and people that were there. And now those scans that Dr. Rima had to move out of the country. Major General Stubblebine is dead now. Dr. Rima was on like a couple shows. She went on Alex Jones. She was on Jesse Ventura, trying to explain to people about the COVID vaccine and then how it's an mRNA. And she was that person. She scanned my ex-girlfriend. We took that to John D'Souza. So am I targeted? Yeah. Have I been targeted? Yeah. I was a fire inspector, crash fire rescue firefighter. Day 9/11 happened. Got off duty 7 a.m. Went home. Saw Twin Towers blowing up. Firefighters dying. I was currently the fire inspector at the 144th Fighter Wing. Everything was fresh in my head. My NFPA books, National Fire Protection Agency, it just got done certification at the University of Maryland. None of that shit added up. And they were like, this is a young, good-looking guy who has all of his hair, who can speak properly and do the math to prove us wrong. That was back then. I mean, the good-looking and the hair part. I was like perfect for TV back then. Didn't realize, but they knew that I had the potential to tell people about this, and people would listen to me. And that was my red pill. There's a reason they wouldn't let me go to the Ukraine deployment. We'll just say that. There were several of them, Operation Safe Skies, Operation Clear Skies. We were protecting the no-fly zone over a soccer stadium that happened to be real close to some uranium mines. So, I mean, just listen to the shit that I'm saying. Do you think the government the corrupt government would have some interest in me? What do I think about Patel? Man, his wife seems like Mossad, and I don't know. It's like getting kind of... What methods do gang stalkers use? That would be a 1-week video. Actually, so my most watched video on YouTube is about that. Standard operating procedures of organized stalking harassments. I don't know, 50,000 views. It should be like 500 million views. But it was suppressed, so you can watch that video and I'll explain to you what McWard says. I have no need to explain myself to anyone. I know I don't. Thank you, appreciate that, but Yep, Dr. Rima tried to tell everybody. I've been trying to tell everybody. This is the time right now. It's like people are finally, on a mass level, going to be like, oh God. The ones that aren't part of it. The ones that are part of it, they're panicking right now. They're absolutely panicking. They are, right now, they are like in the fight or flight mode, the caged animal. They don't know if they should run or attack. A bunch of them are attacking. So just over this last week, so since these Epstein files came out, I didn't talk about this part. I need to, because it's part of the reason I got on here. They have been going hard. Actually, right before the Epstein files came out, I shared some videos with you guys that, like these neighbors 2 doors down at 111 Maryland, who have been like some of the main culprits here in this neighborhood who have gang stalked me. They're absolute pieces of shit. I know they watch this. I've told them that to their face multiple times. I ignore anything they say now. Anyway, they came down here. They recruited some crazy dude to come down to the house and come into my front yard when I was trying to go to work. So he was holding me captive basically in my house, saying, come out here and fight me. Let's do this. I'll fuck you up and your son. And then he, I just had my pepper spray here. I was just going to pepper spray him. And the guy punched both of my side windows on my truck, $250 each for these windows, or these mirrors. And after that, like, they were trying to set me up and arrest me. After that, I called the police, and the police went down here and had a nice little powwow with that guy, and they told some jokes and laughed, and then they didn't do a fucking thing, and left. And then after that, there kept being like the people on my property, cops showing up here in my yard while I'm gone that I can see on my cameras. They've been threatening me all week that they're going to crash somebody into my truck, which they've done 4 times. I've been in 4 car crashes that I won't call accidents because they were all intentional. One was here on Washington and Pennsylvania, day before I was supposed to go to court, when Katasha White was trying to run an op on me. I'm going off on a tangent. Run an op on me and steal my house. Day before court, I get T-boned, and they're trying to take me to the hospital. I said, no, I'm not going into the hospital. That was during COVID. They would have quarantined me. I wouldn't have been able to go to court, and they would have let her take my house. If you don't know that story, go back and check that one out. That was a honey trap and a half, sitting here to placate me, gaslight me, and then create a false narrative about me. She was shooting holes in my trim in this house, ripping down my blinds, not doing shit, laying up on the top of my house while I was out working construction all day, and then come home, dirty dishes, and just being an absolute piece of shit intentionally. After she placated me, I was like, I'm gonna help you restore your house and all this stuff. And then after I told her to get out like 20 times, she made up a story, said I threw a chair at her. They filed a DVP on me, kicked me out of my own house, allowed her to stay here where all of my things are, which I cannot find my hard drives now with all of my life's work. Imagine a person inside your house for 1 week to have complete access to all of your personal things, my social security number, my hard drives, all of that stuff. And then I get T-boned, total my truck. I should have gone to the hospital. I'm still hurting from that, but I knew what their game plan was. So I just fucking walked it off. Like I said, had insurance, got my rental car, went to the house with one of the police escorts to go to my own house, got my suits, went to court the next day. She didn't show up. DVP dropped. I went back to my house, moved on with life. Sue them. How do you sue people when you're broke? My insurance is about to cancel on this house. They're threatening to burn my house down as soon as my insurance cancels. My website just canceled because it was $200 and something bucks. I don't have the money to do that. Everything's about to finances are bad. That's just part of the targeting. Do you believe you're targeted? Yeah, because I work twice as hard as anybody I know. Work boots should not, a man should not be able to own a pair of work boots that look like this and still be broke. Yeah, it has to do with things like UPS stealing $160 from me because they added an inch to the box, or fraudulent returns through your business, damaging your things that you need to have worked, shooting a hole through your glass sliding door right after you do an interview with a former CIA agent, and you make an extra $500 at your garage sale, which you have to do because you're blacklisted and can't get a job driving a fucking forklift. You have to do all kinds of random shit for work. Get an extra $500 to, oh hey, that would really help me. $1,000 would really help push me forward. Well, nope, you're not going to be doing that because it's 122 degrees right now in Arizona, and you're going to need to have that window fixed. How much did the window cost? $550, $50 more than I had made extra on that. Anyway. What happened with me and Andrea? I haven't heard from Andrea. She went, we left on good terms. Did a video and everything, like, hey, this is Andrea and Mike. We're just doing this video to show everything's fine. Andrea's going back to Tennessee. I don't know, she went back there, got a job at like the Cadillac plant in Murfreesboro on production line or something like that. And I tried to get in contact with her several times and nothing. Don't know. We'll see down the road. Can I move to another country? I can't even afford a fucking Greyhound ticket. How am I gonna move to another country? Plus, I'm a United States citizen. I'm an American, we'll say. Citizens corporate. Born and raised here, served in our United States Air Force 14 years. I don't think I'm just gonna give up. Plus, this shit's global. It wouldn't matter. Doesn't matter. I've lived in California, Tennessee, Texas, Oklahoma, Arizona, Maryland, and West Virginia. And it's happened in every single state here. Bartender went looking for trouble. No, Poncho, I didn't go looking for trouble. See, that's the thing. That's the gaslighting thing they do. Oh, he's out there causing trouble. He's out there causing... No. I saw over 300 of my brothers and sisters die in a coordinated attack. One hour after spending 48 hours doing the exact same thing that those guys do. I didn't go looking for trouble. I started seeing trouble. I started figuring it out. And I'm going after fucks like you. So yeah, I found it. Poncho Loco. Fucking. Poncho Loco apparently likes to traffic children and stand up for children traffickers. Oh, who are these guys? Who are these people? I got some people walking up on me right now. Here, see. Don't come up here. Don't come up here. Trying to distract me. Yep. Standing here in front of my house, staring at my house. Go away. Never seen them before. Anyway. Today was a wild morning. I messaged Kathy O'Brien. Messaged John D'Souza. I'm going to name drop right now, but this is who I contact to check in with, make sure they're doing okay, and tell them, hey, Kathy, I'm so happy this information came out. It's taken so long. Happy for you. Message John D'Souza. My Air Force sister, Kristen Megan. Doc, I'd really like to hang out with Doc. I think we get along. Got a lot in common. Message those people this morning. I'll share a screenshot. I got to go to work. I got some stuff to do. I don't know. Try to get this light bill paid and all this other stuff. So I'll put a screenshot of if there's any people here that this is all new to and you don't know, like, who do I get my information from? Who are some people that I can learn from that's not we'll just share quality information that I can use to do my own research, use my own critical thinking skills and discernment to make my own decision if this is legitimate information or not. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to go to my X channel and share those for all you new folks that are here. And why am I here talking? Because I felt like it. Because I've been fighting for my constitutional rights, and that's one of them, First Amendment, fighting my whole life for that. Protect my family. You should protect your family. You think I don't? I guarantee you my family is protected right now. We'll fuck around and find out. There's a lot of comments, you guys. I can't keep up with all these. I'm sorry. Am I XCI? No. Thankfully, they did. Well, okay, so I filled out an application for the CIA when I was in the Air Force. When I was with my girlfriend, Stephanie. I specifically remember doing this. I was drinking a bottle of wine. We were listening to some music. And I was going through a bunch of videos. Well, here we go off on another tangent. At the end of my Air Force career, which I didn't know was the end of my Air Force career, I tried to get on this team with this guy named Chuck DeCaro, right? He worked on a thing called Softwar, SOFTWAR. And I went to this 2-day training class. I volunteered to go to it. So, which I think that they thought that I was trying to infiltrate them, because now that I look back, he might have been CIA or something like that. Anyway, I went to this class. I was just trying to get like extra duties in the Air Force and go do something awesome instead of doing like PowerPoint jockey and taking a picture of the 06's retirement cake and shit like that. I wanted to go do something badass. So I volunteered to join this Softwar group. It was mostly Army National Guard. I was the only Air Force guy in there. And what Softwar is I didn't sign up for this, signed up for the other part, which I'll tell you. Softwar is changing the enemy's perception of reality using multimedia applications. Basically, that now translates to like fake news. So this is like psychological operations that we were running on other countries to just completely make everything that they thought was reality false. That turned out to be something that ended up being used on us. The other part of what that guy was doing was because we were photo, video, broadcast journalist experts, you know, photo editing and stuff like that. They were going to use us as a forensic investigation team, where we would literally carry like a briefcase with a laptop and that has like a secret code on it. Nobody can get in it. You keep it with you at all times. The second one of our soldiers or Marines or airmen get hit with an IED in Iraq or Afghanistan, that footage was sent to us. We open the laptop, we investigate the footage, we check the angles, the filming, all of that stuff, the standard operating procedures, and then we report back collectively to the team leader. They process all that information, and then we can keep our military members from being blown up by IEDs. I was home going through YouTube, doing extra stuff on my own, searching through all these videos on YouTube and watching the comparisons between the videos on YouTube and the stuff that we were shown. They even showed us, he showed us the Rodney King incident that happened, which was the beta test, the precursor. These people are coming back. The precursor for Minneapolis, Minnesota, Floyd. That was like the test for Floyd. So, these fucking people are just walking around in front of my house. Yeah, and if my dog is barking at you, he senses something evil in you. So, see them wearing black? They're acting like they're like Jehovah's Witness or something like that. Well, yeah, they do it too. They just like to make their presence. Hey, we know you're doing a video, Mike. We're going to go do laps in front of your house. No, you got my address now. You come do laps. No, I wouldn't advise it. It's a trap. You don't think I gave you my address? Just all willy-nilly? I've been watching it happen for years. I have to take the harassment and the punishment and the pain, but I make it through that, and then I watch what happens to these people afterwards. I've seen it so many times. So many fucking times. Leave them alone, you're good. I'm not doing shit. I'm sitting in my truck in my driveway at my house. Leave them alone. So anyway, I filled out an application for it. See, that's why they tried to distract me, because I was talking about that. That night that I was going through all that stuff, I was like, okay, hold on. I don't even know if this job is going to be enough. I have more potential than this. I'm going to join the fucking CIA. This is when I thought the CIA was still like what you see in the movies. And I filled out an application for the CIA. And I never heard back from them. But not long after that is like one of my favorite girlfriends I ever had that I never got in a fight with, ever. We drank wine and danced together. She treated my daughter awesome. She was like the perfect girlfriend. She cooked. She came at home at lunchtime to get... I shouldn't tell you that part. Anyway, nothing was wrong with that thing, and all of a sudden, she just left one day. And then Jillian showed up, who was I was with for 9 years. Who possibly could have been CIA, Mossad, Honey Trap. I don't know. I haven't heard from her in forever either. I don't know about that one. I'd like to find the outcome. But, so no, I'm not in the CIA. But I did try, and I think because I tried, like I said, I think they thought that I was trying to infiltrate them, and they were like, no, you're going in the human garbage disposal. My dog isn't that big or badass. He's like 29 pounds, and he's like 13 years old, which is like 90. He's getting old. What do you know they don't want to get out? I'm saying it right now. Go to my YouTube channel. Start in November of 2017. I've said all of it. Talked about the school I went to when I was a kid, how they got shut down for sexual abuse, lawsuits, changed ownership. My dad worked for Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, and NASA. My mom worked for the government, for the Federal Aviation Administration, the United States Forest Service, the IRS. All my relatives worked in like Boeing, Department of Energy, the Lockheed. Like I was saying, a bunch of them worked at Lockheed back when they were making the B-1B and the SR-71 and all that stuff in compartmentalized groups. They didn't even know what they were working on. Talked about... Yeah, I went on shows with like Larry Nichols and all these like intel agent whistleblowers, 9/11, COVID, chemtrails, trafficking, my own personal story, it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, mostly I've talked about the people who are complicit in doing this and showed videos of like the gang stalker, you know, the organized stalking, harassment, live action role players, surveillance role players they call them, but they're gang stalkers. They're lurkers. They literally are felons. They commit felonies every single day. It's like US code, I think it's 2263, 2663 is stalking, right? And then US Code 18, Section 241 and 242, deprivation of rights under color of law and conspiracy against rights to like keep you from enjoying your freedom, because they're literally putting roadblocks in your way every single day. So you can't progress and have your livelihood just suffers and you're constantly struggling. Yeah. Oh, use the Wayback Machine for my website. Free set. That's a good. I'll check that out. Marduk says they lost millions and their company. I believe you 100%. That they just have a way to cut you off. And the thing that sucks about that, of losing your company and millions, is you also lost, what's the word I'm looking for, your momentum. And how can you be indemnified for what could have been? So that's a tough part. I'd be a multimillionaire right now with multiple businesses using the leverage of money to exist. That's how you make it. They don't want you to get to that point. So that's the secret. That's where the secret. You don't use your back. You use the leverage of money to like whole life insurance policies that make you money on that policy. And you could borrow money from yourself for projects, and you move that money around. But you have to have enough money to get to that point. And that's why they keep you on the treadmill, or they take it away. So you don't have that money. So you don't have the power to make a positive change. I'm sorry they did that to you. You should get back everything 1,000-fold for what they took away from you. Intellectual property, how much intellectual property has been stolen from people is absolutely insane. Rich people, help Mike, please. That would be awesome. But see, that's the thing. A lot of rich people got rich because they did this. So it's like most of us that are out here doing it, that are like speaking the truth, we're struggling. We're out here in the matrix eating the porridge, not the girl in the red dress with the steak. You know what I mean? I got to get to work. Someone said, I hear Epstein is in the Trump files. What do I have to say about the Epstein files? I'm kind of talking about them right now. Oh, Patel. Okay, it's not his wife, his girlfriend. Whoever she is, seems very Mossadi. If you ever looked at pictures of the IDF, oh, here comes the mail. The women in the IDF, they're like the hottest chicks in the military. I just saying. A lot of them look like my ex-wife. Long black hair, thin, ivory skin, thin with a dump truck ass. Oh, they're pretty look very similar. Actually, there's a meme that went out to a lot of the intel people. It's a guy in a military suit, military BDUs, right? And he's got like glasses like me, and he's kind of thin. And then there's like this super hot 10 like Mossad chick next to him. Looks like, you know, long black hair, long dark hair, ivory skin, IDF type. And it's like, if she's a 10 and you're a 5, is she a spy? I was like, that's crazy. It looks like my ex-wife. Yeah. I gotta go to work. I'm gonna post this shit on X. Mail's here. Yo. Hey, y'all. Mail guys are here. Yeah. Oh, Will's barking at them too. Post office was highly involved in this. Do I remember Lavoy Finicum? Yes, I do remember Lavoy Finicum. We were just talking about him a couple nights ago at the Bundy Ranch. He lived in They were actually originally from Laveen, Arizona, which is the town next to Avondale, Arizona, which is where I lived for 9 years. And we were talking about how they just wanted to, have a business. And I think it was China wanted that land, that BLM land, and we had some politicians that were selling more of our country out, and they shot and killed Lavoy Finicum. So they might do that to me too. Don't give a fuck. Been past it so long. I don't care. I mean, I do care if I get shot, but I'm not going to stop because of being threatened to shot. Ask if he's a TLO liaison officer. Many of them. He's right there. I could ask him. He's going to be like, I don't know what that is. Should I ask him? This window doesn't work. I don't want to talk to anybody right now. See, that's how it goes. I used to love talking with people, interacting with people, and I still do when I could tell they're like a real one. If you're a real one and you approach me in public and you're not using neuro-linguistic programming, directed conversation, wearing intentionally stupid shit that's like sending a message, like just being an idiot, if you're like a real one, we're gonna have a long-ass conversation. Other than that, I don't want to talk to anybody. I gotta go to work. I'll jump back on here at some other random time that you guys aren't expecting, and I'm sorry to everybody that I missed your messages. I'm just doing good to be standing upright right now, and I probably just wasted about a gallon of gas sitting here in my truck. But it's cold, and I needed the heater on. And somebody is sending me something. A package. Oh, that's not mine. Guess I didn't get a package. He just decided to carry that thing up to my house, and now he's going to take it over to, let me guess, 111, the people I was just talking about. Gotta go to work. Talk to y'all later. Apologize for not answering some of your questions. I can hardly even see, even with these glasses. Read this shit anyway. Yep. Time to go. Love y'all.